Hey everybody, thanks for coming back and watching our next video of our trip to Panama. We're in Bastimentos, Panama, or Old Bank, staying at the El Pelicano, which are cousins to my husband. And here we are again, another adventurous day ahead.
Hey dude.
And as you might be noticing, you can't get really anywhere in these little islands of Panama without utilizing the many water taxi services. Now, we were very fortunate to have some connections because Chuck's cousin, Mike, and his wife, Cheryl, of course, live there. And so they know their favorites. And this is Loli and his boat. And yes, feel that Panama air conditioning. That's what we called it every time we got on the water taxi because it's always a little bit, warm and muggy there and no air conditioning. And so it was awesome to get in the breeze of the water taxi and head out.
Everybody oremos en el chat.
Today's adventure has us going to the floating bar, and honestly, I was super excited to get to the floating bar. Mike and Cheryl had posted a lot about the floating bar on their own personal Facebook page, and I knew it was going to be fun, and it did not disappoint. Let me tell you, seriously, good cocktails. We had a spicy ginger margarita and then like a watermelon margarita. These were top notch. I absolutely enjoyed the cocktails and the food. Some of the best food I've eaten down in Panama was here at the floating bar of all places. They fresh pressed tortillas to order for quesadillas and tacos. And then they had a great ceviche, one of the best I tasted down there. So the food did not disappoint. We had a fish taco and a chicken taco. Both were topped with like some pickled red onion that were delicious. But these tortillas, yum, yum. And just a beautiful view. The day we happened to go, a little bit overcast. So it was a little bit sprinkly. We didn't end up getting in the water right there near the floating bar, but you can. In fact, many people do jump right off the rooftop of the floating bar into the water. And my husband was actually very excited about doing that. So we may have to go back just to do that because we didn't get that done on this visit. And you know how vacations are. You always think, oh, we'll come again and we'll do it then. Well, that just didn't work out for us. So this was our only visit to the floating bar, but I'm telling you, I would have gone back and eaten those tacos multiple times.
It was my world.
So bright and early the next morning, we were off to do a little bit of scuba diving and snorkeling. I don't scuba dive. I mean, I have scuba dove before. I know how to do it, but I don't know. I just feel like it's too much work. So I'm a snorkeler, but the other three, Chuck, Robbie, and Nina, were going to scuba dive. They're all certified, and there is a retired gentleman down the sidewalk from where Mike and Cheryl's place is, and he is a scuba diving instructor. So we booked with him. That's a cemetery up there above his property there. And so this was our morning to get to go out and do that. So it was so easy. We walked out of El Pelicano took a left on the sidewalk and headed on down, and they took us out. First stop, we had to head out, get some air tanks from one of the places on the bigger island, and enjoyed some drinks at the bar. That was also the place to pick up the scuba tanks. And then it was time to dive. The first dive they did was called the police barge, and as you will see, visibility not fantastic. Neither of the dives that they did to this date were very clear, but it was still fun and a good diving experience for them. I know that Panama has some world-class diving, but that diving is probably not here inside the little island like circle. You probably need to go on the outside of the islands that face the larger Gulf. So we didn't go that far. This was literally 10-12 minutes from where we were staying, and so it was just very convenient. So we just did these little dives, and while they dove, I snorkeled. It was great. I had some really good snorkeling in the area. This is dive number 2 for the morning, called Hospital Point. And just beautiful, breathtaking scenery all around. I mean, just gorgeous. This dive was also even lower visibility. I thought this was fun. We got Chuck's, fall into the water 3 different perspectives. This is from Robbie's camera, who was already in the water next to Chuck, then from mine while I'm still in the boat. And then you get a third perspective here in just a second from Chuck's own camera. You can see him video himself going into the water. And so that was just kind of fun. There's some water taxis. Again, remember they're in this Panama area. Water taxis are how you get around. On the island that Bastimentos, where Mike and Cheryl live, there are absolutely no cars. There's no roads. There's no cars. There are a sidewalk. It's literally a village. And the rest of the island is only accessible on foot or by water taxi. So again, that's how you get everywhere. And this was definitely murky down there. It was hard to see anything. They had a good time. As you can see, they shed their wetsuits. They realized on dive number 1, probably don't need the wetsuit here. So they just went in their swim trunks. Lots of lobsters in these Panamanian waters, and Robbie was pointing out 2 there. Of course, you can't see them, but trust me, they were there. And so lobster is one of the very popular food products that, is highlighted in the Panamanian menus that you'll see around here, and that's because they are, everywhere. There is a lot of beautiful coral. I will tell you, it is hard for me, someone who absolutely loves the ocean and coral reefs and all of that, to see so much damage on these coral reefs. They're not protected in any way at all. And so there's a lot of damage, but there are some highlights. You can see some really, really cool, neat formations. And in an upcoming adventure video on another day, we did some amazing snorkeling where it is protected. It's in a reserve, and it was beautiful. This is highly damaged from scuba divers, from the fact that water taxis can just run amok. There is absolutely no protected areas where the water taxis can't go. Something to get used to. All in all, a fun time, a good adventure, and we were really enjoying our Panama vacation. There's Robbie and Nina and Chuck underwater hanging loose. Thank you so much for watching this next installment of our adventure in Panama. More to come. I'm already working on the next video. And like I said, there's some amazing snorkeling coming up too in a beautiful, breathtaking reserve. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.